Good afternoon, my name is Claudia, and this is the reflection for my last video. I can't believe we're here already. When we started the clinical practice, I thought this process was never going to end, but it did, and I'm very happy with the results. So, for this reflection, I'm going to start talking about what went well in my lesson. I'm very proud of myself in this lesson because it's the first time that I record myself working with the whole class. In my previous videos, I work with different groups of students because that's the work that I do as an IA mostly. But this time, I took a step forward and I decided to start to use the whole class. So I had 22 students for this lesson. It was also a challenge because I was introducing a new concept to them, which was subtraction. They never learned about subtraction before, so it was a lot of responsibility, and it took me a lot of planning, but I think it went really well. What I think I was very successful at introducing the concept to my students in different ways. I did it on the board, and then I did it orally. I did it with the Unifix cubes, modeling all the exercises that my students would do after, as well as one exercise that I saw in their Go Math book, that is a Common Core standard book, where there's a picture of kids, one like four kids on a table, one kid standing up and leaving. So how many kids are left, right? So I wanted to take that problem to real life. So I made my students do that and observe it. So when they see it on their math book, it'll be familiar and easy for them to do. That was something I really liked about this lesson, and I think it went well. Another thing that I improved with in this lesson is I included a lot of technology, and this is following the feedback mostly from my peers. At the beginning, I was a little apprehensive of using a lot of technology in my classes because my students are really young, but I see how well they responded and how kids are now with technology. So the use of the video subtracting with a pirate, as well as the IXL exercises, helped me to make this lesson complete and not and covering all the areas and practicing 21st century skills as well. I think that the learning environment was nice. Everything was treating each other with respect. Students are really learning how to take turns and talk when it's their turn. So I think this was a very good lesson overall. Of course, there are many things that I have to improve, and that's what I'm gonna talk about right now. What do I need to improve? What needs to be improved? Well, I think that for next time in a lesson like this, I could include another center with students working in groups, because I realized that for this lesson, students didn't work in groups at all. Uh, I didn't want them to work in groups actually because it was just the first time they were getting introduced to this concept. So I wanted them to pay attention and to be focused on the concept, but maybe this could be something that could be improved, or also could be a next step. Something that I need to improve as well is to giving students immediate feedback when they give me their results in their worksheets. Sometimes I realize that my feedback wasn't that immediate, so that's something I need to improve as well. For next steps, I would like to, after the concept is there, I think they're getting there, but I would like to apply a PBL activity for subtraction. I didn't want to do it in the first lesson because, as I said, I'm just introducing the subject. So I wanted to make sure students got the concept really well before we can use it and put it into practice. So that'll be a next step for this lesson. And at last, what I foresee as areas of growth after I complete my clinical practice. Well, I foresee that I will keep on learning. I will keep on working on my professional development. I need to work on some teaching strategies, especially to control my time better, which I did better this time, I have to say, because I remember that I received feedback from the last time, from my last video, that maybe students didn't have enough time to do their work. In this video, I work differently, so I put my students into centers, so students would switch whenever they're ready. They didn't actually have to, they didn't have a limit of time. So it was helpful for some students who really take more finishing their work, and I think it's a strategy that I will use more often for sure. Thank you very much. I learned a lot during this practice, especially during this last couple of weeks where we have to put together all our knowledge and put into a video. And I have to say I am proud of myself, and I am very thankful especially to my instructor, as well as my mentor and my peers, for the support, the feedback through this process. And well, that's it. Thank you.